angry. December 2010. Understand, as we said over the years, that there will be an extensive escalation, an onslaught on the human being and the human culture and the human economic system that is becoming slowly but surely more effective. Understand that nature, plants, animals, bugs, everything is working together within this, the viruses, the bacteria, and their pre-programmed controls, as the shackles has only been released some years ago now, so they're moving as fast as possible. It is like having to learn how to walk and how to work together. So just some reports on where we are, and you can obviously observe it in the world events as they slowly but surely escalate and the timescales change. In the last week in South Africa, there has been 32,000 lightning strikes, with 17,000 the weekend alone. Well, what is a lightning strike? Lightning strike is between 1,000 and 2,000 amps of power that goes through your circuits, your machines, and destroy them. That means it's an economic onslaught. There's also a lot more people that's been struck by lightning than before. Before, lightning would only strike according to pre-programmed designs. That doesn't exist anymore. Slowly but surely, nature is able to actually take control and target its specifics according to those that abuse or those that need to learn to honor life. If you look at the situation with the snow in Europe and America, as that is escalating, the extent of the situation was hardly predictable. The same in terms of the droughts around the world. There is extreme weather, and that will continue and will escalate. You also have it with the floods that's happening. And have a look, what is the real target within this? It is the economic system. The economic damage that's done through this is never really calculated because it's extensive. Because it cannot be calculated because the total money system is a fraud. So they don't want to calculate it, because then eventually you're going to find out that none of the money is actually really authentic. It is a complete and utter deliberate manipulation. Same with foreclosures around the world. If foreclosures were actually calculated, one would have seen a massive amount of money being lost through foreclosures. But that is never calculated. You never see the actual figures of anything. Although in this world it is possible to keep track of every cent that moves. It's not being done. The only point where it's going to be used is to control you and make sure you pay tax, and then make sure that you submit yourself to the system. They'll use, call it the microchip, the principle of the big brother, to control you and make sure you do not question the corruption that is existent in this world as the capitalistic system. That's why there's a way one can actually change this. If you try and do it in any other way, you're going to have a problem. The way you change it is through political means, through the democratic system, through one man, one vote. That is the way to change this, because that is the way of authority and authenticity which cannot be challenged. Slowly but surely, the last of the dictatorships of the world will disappear. There's obviously the issue of Korea, North Korea and South Korea, with an interesting name that pops up in South Korea, which is Seoul. And then obviously the interesting obsession in South Korea of the Koreans with Christianity, a complete obsessive form of Christianity. What we found years ago was that in North Korea is the center of the religious elite in the world, the point that makes the decision about what and how to direct the religious systems of the world, and to make the Bible, to authenticate the Bible in the ultimate way for absolute control, would be Armageddon. And Armageddon to happen in a country which is not necessarily the place which will cause havoc on bloodlines, but which is possible to be used at the same time in the vicinity of rival religions and take out the power that is coming through Islam, because Islam obviously is a religion that takes on the money system to a degree, and especially the banking system. It limits the amount of profit that can be made out of people, because in Islam, interest is not allowed to be asked on loans, which is one of the primary ways banks make money. So this is more speculation what will happen in terms of North and South Korea, but look at all the parts that play and contribute in it. It is likely that if a nuclear war is to happen as a form of Armageddon, to absolute implement through fear the final phases of the Bible, then that is the most likely area that will affect the rest of the world the least, and that may be a springboard to at the same time take care of the Islamic problem, and all in one strike the Bible will be authenticated, and you will be completely hypnotized in fear, waiting for Jesus on a cloud. None of this, obviously, from the Jesus perspective, is really real, but who cares? Because as long as you believe this, and you believe it at least till you die, those in power in the world are safe. And that's all they want. They want you to believe in something as ridiculous as a savior whose blood you must drink, so that you never question the system. We suggest that you investigate the equal money system. We will shortly, in the next 2 months, bring out the first books on the equal money system, which is explosive reading and showing how and why an equal money system is necessary, and how that will in fact also prove the Bible from the perspective of the Jesus story, but without Armageddon, without fear, actually creating heaven on earth. If you're serious about the future of the world, you will hear what we have to say at Destiny, so that these forces that do not have the best interest of earth in mind can be taken care of once and for all, and they're not going to show their hand or show their faces, because they are an extreme small group, and their only power is your fear. So stop fearing, and let's bring about a new world that's best for all.